blame shifting, Darvo. I talked about this multiple times with Stu and Officer Fred, and how when you ask them for help, or probably any Christian for that matter, you ask them for help, they immediately get pissed and then they go, do it yourself! I had this really funny moment when I was working at Wendy's, where I had to pull out the fryer, which is like these 5 fryers. It's like this massive thing. It probably weighs like 800 pounds. And I asked Officer Fred for help. And he went, do it yourself! And I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, at one, I believe when I'm doing these weird faces and that's not me, like, exaggerating. This is the literal response, and this is what they look like. Okay. It's not me being mean. And even Blondie, when he poisoned me with heavy metals, and he was like, fix everything yourself! Like, I don't know what that is, but I do believe this kind of explains it. So, the behavior is often described as blame shifting or deflection. It occurs when a person feels surge of shame or guilt, or instead of processing those feelings, immediately deflect them back onto you and to protect their own ego. DARVO, our good old friend that churches teach everybody, this is the acronym: Deny, Attack, Reverse, Victim, Offender. They deny there's a problem or that you need help. Attack, they get mad at you for asking. They act like they're the one being mistreated because you pressured them or made them feel bad. Inability to process your emotions. I call it emotional constipation. But now, the other part is playing the martyr. This is another defense tactic. When you ask for help, they respond with something like, fine, I'm just a horrible person, right? They are playing the martyr. This is a manipulation tactic designed to make you stop asking for help instead of start comforting them. Moral grandstanding, counter-accusation. They may bring up something you did in the past to justify they shouldn't have to help you now. This is a way of saying, you aren't perfect, so you have no right to ask me for anything. At the core, this is a defense mechanism. The person likely lacks emotional tools to handle the threat of being wrong or being responsible for something. When they feel that switch of guilt get hit, their amygdala triggers in an overreaction, anger to drive the threat, requests for help away. To drive the threat away. Now, this feeds into Christian toxic DIY. Yep. Do it yourself! Stop asking for help! I hate socialism! Helping people's evil! You see, when they're doing that kind of thing, I myself grew up, when I was in this is a thing, growing up, special ed room, we were all obligated to help one another, so helping one another comes natural for me. When I help these people, they get pissed, and it's that stuff from Annalene and Mummy God. The hero saves the kid, and the kid kills him because he didn't let him do it! And it's just because he thinks like a 2-year-old. Because you think like a 2-year-old. And this is something that bothers me to no end, because it is literally toxic DIY. That is what toxic DIY. And you might go, Bobby, what do you know about toxic DIY? Well, actually, I had an uncle that was in, basically kind of like odd jobs, and he would just go around helping people build add-ons to their houses. And he worked for a Christian group for the longest time that were like a Christian DIY. They would send people out, and they would show you how to, they didn't even show you how to do it. They just, I don't know what they did. They were just kind of dicks. But, these people, and my uncle, made a fair amount of money DIYing things. And basically, everybody they ever showed their DIY methods to, died of carbon monoxide poisoning. And my uncle learned this, because when they were putting the add-ons on, they weren't properly ventilating them. They didn't follow any standards. They didn't know any of the laws. They didn't even know what they were doing. But what they didn't want was a third party kind of like actual government agency stepping in and telling them what to do. So their obsession with not being told what to do resulted in people dying of carbon monoxide poisoning. And you know, if you're a Christian watching, you're probably going, I don't care! Yeah. But this is the importance of toxic DIY. Forcing me to chelate myself, and then it destroying my teeth. That is why you don't do shit like that alone. Giving myself psychological help, another DIY. That is why you don't watch my video. Go ahead, I dare you, watch all my videos and see how mentally well I am from giving myself psychological help. It's such a good idea to DIY. You know, they're watching this. He's complaining. He's making excuses. Do it yourself. It always works out. And then it doesn't. My explanation for DIY, guys, literally, like, because believe it or not, as a poor person, you become a DIY person. You do a lot of things yourself. Work on your car, do that yourself. If you're ever really sick, you research methods and use grandma's fucking cookbook of old arbitrary shit that cures diseases, like drinking vinegar. Okay. These are all old treatments, and they're all out-of-date shit. That are all part of the DIY fucking madness. But toxic DIY, which is what Christians have in spades, is more of an ego defense. I can do it myself, and I want to prove to you I can do it myself because my ego is way out of control and somebody needs to punch it in the mouth. If somebody ever helps you and you feel like murdering them, you should probably go shoot yourself in the head. Because every story about every hero ever and anybody that's ever done the right thing involves actually helping other people without it being an ego thing. You're just a horrible human being. That's what the real problem is. But, this, time and time again, has been something that has terrorized me my entire life. And when I say my entire life, when I was in the special ed room, every time I needed help learning something, and I think this video may have gotten deleted, so I'm just going to see if I can find the damn thing real quick. Fudge. I probably should have just had it ready or something. I don't know. Well, every time I did something in the special ed room, a teacher would go, "Figure it out yourself!" And they were all Christian. I didn't understand why they would get so mad, because if you're in a teaching position, your job is to literally help people. Teaching is a form of help. If you are against help, do not get in a teaching profession. Don't do it. Stay away from it. You're going to be horrible at it. And even worse, you're going to have extreme trouble trying to make sense of why every student in your classroom is an idiot. Because you did that, and you're not going to have any agency in anything. So you're going to go, I didn't do that. I just told them to do it themselves. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. This is what stupidity looks like, by the way. If you needed a definition of stupidity, that's what stupidity looks like. What I wanted to do was show you guys, I, for the longest time, couldn't use a tape measure. Yeah. I didn't fundamentally understand the concept of basically how a ruler worked. Well into my up to the age of 25. And this happened because I was in the special ed room, and we had this dipshit fucking teacher who, when I didn't comprehend the ruler, just kept repeating the same shit back to me. It measures things. It measures things. It measured things. And my whole point was I didn't understand if you started at the 0 or the 1 when you were counting. And I didn't understand exactly how that functioned, and it was a neurological issue. You see, my brain couldn't comprehend exactly how that functioned. This is part of a learning comprehension disorder. Now, my learning comprehension disorder came from faggots poisoning me with heavy metals when I was a kid. Fun fact. And they were Christians that did it. And then they got pissed at me when I developed a learning disorder. Crazy. I know, right? It's almost as if they have no agency in anything they do. So you should probably not let them around your family, because they might shoot your kid in the head and then go, I didn't know that. I didn't do that. I don't know. Just tell them to go away. Just tell them to go away. It's for your best interest in theirs. But I was talking to the AI, and I expressed that I don't know how to use a measuring tape. I actually don't know how to use measuring things because they don't make sense to me. So the AI immediately replied, oh, it's about measuring things. And I replied, I am a learning comprehension disorder. So it replied, think of a measuring tape like you're running. And each step you take forward, the tape measures each step that's behind you. You see, my tiny stupid fucking brain can understand that. It can. Because that makes more sense than just figure it out. I don't care. If you ever had to deal with anybody like I'm talking about in your life, the only response is to shoot them in the head. There is no logical fucking reason for anybody to ever behave that way, ever, in anybody's existence. And these people were like, you can't just kill me! Anyways, so as I like to explain this intricate thing, fucking Blondie and the go to court yourself, do it, everything, do it yourself, because when you ask them, they get offended, they get upset, and they go, you're making it my fault. You're not under attack. And this is the thing, my learning comprehension disorder, part of the ADHD brain, when I'm trying to learn something, I often feel like I'm in a fight with it. When I was trying to learn how to draw digitally, I felt like I was fighting with the fucking digital program the entire time. And even when I'm trying to learn anything at all, it always feels like I'm in a fist fight, and I burn out, and I get really upset, and I start feeling like I'm in pain, like a physical fucking pain. And I don't know exactly where that pain comes from. Then I develop emotional burnout, and then I give up. That happens every time. And that's because of ADHD. You see, ADHD perceives learning things as a threat. It does. And Blondie and all the dumbasses in this church perceive asking us for help, somebody asking them for help, as a threat. That's why they immediately overreact to the entire scenario, instead of just walking out, grabbing the far end of the 8-foot-long fryer and pulling the goddamn thing out. Looking at you, Officer Fred. Instead of going, do it yourself, you get off your ass, you go to the other end of the fucking fryer, which I cannot reach because my arm length isn't that long. I cannot pull the fryer out myself. It is a physically impossible task. You get off your ass and you go down there and you help. And you might go, Bobby, you're just mad about the fryer. No, because I can probably think of 1,000 times where a dipshit was stupid enough to say, do it yourself, and the task was a task that was a 2-man task. One of the funnier times I ever had in my life was a dude that was in my neighborhood who couldn't ask for help. And he kept walking down to our house and then going, I'm bleeding my brakes. And I didn't know why he kept saying that. And then my mother rolled her eyes and walked down there and then put her foot on the brake pedal and began pumping it while this guy was bleeding his brakes. Instead of asking for help, can you help me bleed the brakes by pumping the brake pedal? This guy just kept repeating, I'm bleeding the brakes. Again and again and again. As if he wanted you to telepathically figure out that he needed you to come down there and step on the brake pedal. See, this is what I refer to as Iron Heart stupidity, because it's not just stupidity, it's stupidity going in the opposite direction. It is the epitome of toxic DIY, which is something we probably need more videos on YouTube. We need more people talking about the pancaking buildings in Southside Florida that fell apart because they were neglected and people kept trying to want to fix the problem themselves. The individual to solve all the problems of other people. Okay. This is extremely stupid and it's extremely toxic. And it's an extremely stupid way to think. And you might go, Bobby, how do you know for certain that behaving in this way is just stupid? Well, let's talk about it. There's a guy that's already figured out everything. He knows the steps. He knows how to do, I don't know, let's say, nuclear fission. He's figured out everything. He knows the safest way to do it. He knows all the mechanisms, and he can show you how to do all these things because he knows what he's doing. He's skilled. Unlike you, that doesn't know what you're doing. You're about to create nuclear fission, and you end up grabbing two shiny pieces of metal, and they accidentally touch, and there's a blue flash. And then you go, I'm feeling pretty good about this. And then there's another blue flash. And then you go, that's funny, dude. Anybody else seeing this? And everybody has run out of the room screaming. And then you touch the metal together, and there's another blue flash. And you're like, ha ha ha, ha ha, dude, this is nuts. And then you find yourself in a hospital, and your DNA is completely degrading, and you're turning into a fucking liquid while you're still alive. Your nervous system is burning you alive. Your eyes are cooked in your head, and your brain is screaming all types of irrational signals that you yourself can't comprehend, and you're begging the doctors to just kill you. But because you're one of the rare specimens that were actually exposed to ridiculous amounts of nuclear radiation because you're an idiot, they're writing you down they're treating you like an experiment and writing down everything that your body goes through. They look at your degrading DNA. They look at everything falling apart. They watch you shit yourself. They watch liquids escape from your body where places they shouldn't be escaping from you. They see holes in your body open that shouldn't be there. They have burns that make no sense. And just general fucking destruction as you sit there screaming, and they keep telling you, we're going to give you more painkillers. We're going to give you all the stuff to relieve the pain. And the only thing that goes through your mind is, did that blue flash have anything to do with what's going on right now? I'll let the DIYers be the decision maker about what toxic DIY is.